It's May 9th, 2015. There's a marijuana march and rally up in Austin, Texas. Let's check it out.
Has changed over the last century here in Texas. Texas has been very familiar with the cannabis plants on the frontier for many years. It was used both medically and recreationally. But starting in 1914, El Paso law enforcement officials passed an ordinance that banned selling and possessing the plant. And that's why it's so important today that a representative from El Paso, Joe Moody, is working to change that law. By 1931, Texas extended marijuana prohibition to include just simple possession. And by 1937, federal marijuana prohibition was being enforced across our country. But starting in the 1970s, we saw a wave of decriminalization across the states, and Texas included themselves in this. In 1971, the penalty for a first-time possession offense was no less than 2 years in jail, and a judge could choose to impose a life sentence. A second possession offense carried a mandatory minimum of 10 years, with the possibility of life in jail. Texas is home to 1.6 million veterans. Many of these veterans suffer from PTSD. One of those veterans is Major David Bass. Many of you may know Major Bass. He retired from the U.S. Army in 2006 with 21 years of active military service.
Thank you. If you are a veteran, please come up here now and stand with us. Come on up here, veterans. We risk our lives, we risk our health for our country. That's right. And we believe we deserve the right to choose a medication that is safe and effective for service-connected disability. Would you mind saying that into the microphone, sir?
I'm a Marine combat veteran in Vietnam, and I have treated my PTSD for 48 years with marijuana. I am a law-abiding citizen.
We are not criminals. We are soldiers, and we love our country, and we love the state of Texas. All we are asking the state of Texas to do is establish a legal, well-regulated medical marijuana program in the state of Texas so that we know what we are buying, so that we know that it's grown by certified growers, so that we know that it's safe from pesticides, so that we can choose among different strains depending on our service-connected disability. This is not hard, Texas. This is easy.
I'm here because someone needed to take action for our fellow patients. Someone had to take a step from the dark, cobweb confines of that cannabis closet to take a stand. Let us be mindful that our actions of today can and will pave the way for the realities of tomorrow. Let us be mindful of our hard-working efforts, blood, sweat, and tears as we continue to overcome and attain the victory in each and everything we do. Let us be mindful to always carry ourselves with dignity, pride, and self-respect as our path to 2017 begins now at these very steps. Well, let me tell you, if Jesus were in America today, he wouldn't be going to the oppressors, he would be going to the oppressed.
Hi, I'm Amy Lou. My co-founder of Mama, Talia Michelle, right here, and we'd like to wish all you mamas a happy Mother's Day. Talia and I started Mama as a response to our children's autism, but we want you to know that we are here for all the children who might benefit from medical cannabis. Children with ailments such as cancer, epilepsy, Tourette's, cerebral palsy, and autism. Over the past year, we have met countless other mothers and fathers and siblings and grandparents of special needs children, and we are so proud to know you. You and your kids are changing the hearts and minds in this building and throughout Texas, and you deserve a huge round of applause. Texas has come a long way since 1 year ago when we first marched with NORML. Texas has come a long way in 1 week. As mothers of children who are sick and suffering, we have been called by God to care for our children. All we are asking Texas lawmakers to do is to let us fulfill our calling in the state of our choice, and we choose Texas. Whether we are fifth generation Texans or recent transplants, we love Texas, and we hope Texas loves us enough to fight for us to stay. I wanted to ask everyone to please join us in a minute of silence in honor, respect, and solidarity for the medical refugees from Texas. To name a few, we have Alexis Bortel, 9 years old, Shania Williams, 4 years old, David, 5 years old, Cora Johnson, 3 years old, Noble Lee, 3 years old, 9 years old, Julian Harmon, Hannah Lowe, 5 years old, Kennedy Wiley, 8 years old, Grayson Nagar, 2 years old, Shane Greason, Cole and Amanda Smith, and soon to be a refugee, my friend Teresa G. If you please will give a moment of silence for our Texas refugees. How many? How many more will have to leave our state? How many more will be illegally held? Thank you very much for coming today to show your support for all of these patients.
Basically pulled out, and I have this fact sheet that I go around these offices and I lay this out for them, and I say I pulled out this data from these states that have changed the civil penalties versus criminal penalties. And then I pulled out Texas, and I show them this graph, and I say, we're not doing so well. Can you tell me why Texas isn't beating these civil states? Why don't our law enforcement have to prove why this policy is working? Harris County has a first chance intervention program, it's new since October, where they don't arrest people for up to 4 ounces of marijuana. I don't think that marijuana has flooded the high schools in Harris County, and guess what? That was law enforcement initiated, because they know that marijuana offenders are a huge waste of resources. I testified in front of the city council in Houston, and the city councilman said, it is true, we do have to bring in extra beds for the marijuana people, and we are letting go more violent criminals out of city jails because of this.
Our Constitution, in fact, was designed specifically to protect us from powerful governments that our founders knew would ultimately seek to violate those unalienable rights. What we're talking about today are victimless crimes. We're talking about whether governments are justified in taking away someone's liberty or property when no one else has been directly harmed by their actions. Libertarians long ago concluded that the answer to this question was a resounding no. We favor the repeal of all laws creating crimes without victims, now incorporated in federal, state, and local law. Libertarian national and state platforms continue to acknowledge our opposition to punishment for victims' crimes. Our national platform clearly says individuals own their bodies and have rights over them that other individuals, groups, and governments may not violate. Individuals have the freedom and responsibility to decide what they knowingly and voluntarily consume and what risks they accept for their own health, finances, safety, or life. Further,
we could all start a fire. Tell the whole world the truth. Throw out the liars. Oh, the things that we could do if we all strapped on our shoes, took a step in the right direction. Throughout all of our issues, like together just like glue, all the things that we could do.
Hey guys, Jamie Spencer is a local Austin attorney who's been in this fight too for a long time. We've got a lot of criminal defense lawyers who fight hard. We get talked bad about all the time being attorneys, but we don't like those other attorneys, especially the ones that are fighting this fight. We give of ourselves, we pour it out, and you know, it's nice to be reminded that we're appreciated every now and then. I wrote a speech. I always deviate, but I was asked to kind of stick to it. You know, today, the majority of Texans do support the legalization of marijuana. The majority of Texans are tired of seeing people put in jail and locked up for possessing a plant. And it's time that this granite wall over here started listening to us. I don't want to go for 40 more years. I don't want to persevere. I want to climb the walls. And it's time that we started making this message loud and clear to people. You know, they call it reefer, pot, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it freedom. Let's call it.
If you are somebody who has people in your life and you use marijuana and it's not negatively impacting them, congratulations. It sounds like you're a responsible cannabis consumer, like most of us. But if you are disappointing people that are counting on you in your life because you would rather get high, you're hurting both your own personal development and potential and alienating a movement that you are claiming to want to help. Would you agree, Texas? Stoners are not just interested in being lazy and getting high, although that is sometimes fun. Would you agree? It's likely that all of us could stand to be a little bit more professional or respectful or even educated representatives of this culture, myself included. We're making progress here in Texas because we continue to put our best foot forward. And if more of us make a conscious effort to do this at every possible opportunity, you might just be amazed at the minds and hearts that can change around you that seemed so very closed off before. I know that this has happened in my life, where family members that didn't or still don't want to understand my marijuana use, through respectful and patient conversations, have come to understand what has brought me to Austin today to speak with you today. My friends, this can be you as well.